All right, Teri, we had a technical issue. So continue with your thought.
All right, just so Taylor needs to understand that there's no point. She's going to get hurt. I don't
Right.
I don't think there's any question about that. But what I was surprised at is how sort of um, the way Brooke talked to Deacon, boy, she flat let him know he is not the guy.
Yeah.
So I've got a prediction coming up on
Ooh,
that.
excellent.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So,
All right. We'll keep moving. So Thomas continues to be, and we've talked about this already in the past podcast, but Thomas is haunted by the fact that he's now strapped really with Sheila's secret
mhm.
that she spiked or changed the labels on Brooks' booze on the infamous New Year's Eve gathering.
Yes.
Uh, what do you think? Is he going to come clean? And this could be in the predictions. We'll hold it, but uh, it's I
I've got a prediction on that
okay.
one too. I
All
bet
right,
we
I do
both
too.
do.
I do too.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right, we'll
good.
hold that
All
then.
right.
I was just
Okay.
curious what you were thinking there. All right.
Yes.
All right. So the only other real main storyline that we got going on, Teri, is the Carter Paris Zende love the other love triangle on the both. Well, I've got more on that coming up.
Okay.
So anyway, Carter tells Paris that she should marry Zende, and I've got something in predictions on that as well coming up.
Oh, good. Yeah,
So,
because Mama made it real clear.
oh yeah, she's tough.
But it's the thing is, really, can you imagine saying that to your kid? The first thing they're going to do is exactly what you do not want them to
They
do.
always do. Yep, they always
Yep.
do. Yep. All right.
All right.
So next, Terry, I want to talk a little bit about the Soapdish Research Department and something they
Yes.
have uncovered,
What is
kind
it?
of.
Okay.
Um, and I think you and I would agree with this, and because we've discussed this in the past on our
Hmm.
podcast about the limited bold character involvement. You
Yeah.
know, and we thought, at the time, a lot of it was around COVID, but it kind of continues.
Yeah, the storyline is getting a little stale.
Mm-hmm.
They need to pick it up,
Yep,
move along, get some other people involved.
agreed. And so our research department found that on the social media platforms, Facebook, et cetera, other message boards,
Uh-huh.
uh, that Bold and Beautiful fans are making their opinions crystal clear. They are tired of the daily dose of the same characters they have been seeing since after Thanksgiving. Viewers have been given a steady diet of Paris, Zende, Carter, and Zoe, and they don't like it.
Yeah.
I think
Good.
you and I would concur with that, and we've talked
Hmm.
about that on our podcast.
Absolutely. It's time to, well, it's a saying that or get off the pot. So
Yeah,
there we go.
yeah.
Okay. Whew.
Ooh, thank you,
Just
Terry. It's
got
still a
myself
very
in trouble.
family rated show, at least most of the time.
Kinda, sorta.
Kind of, sort of. All
Yes.
right, so let's move into predictions, our prediction segment.
Okay.
You want to start?
Um,
Or?
I do. I,
Okay, good.
just because I am curious, um, if you have noticed, Steffi looks a little different.
Hmm.
Have you, to me, she looks like she might have another little baby bump.
Ooh, would that be three?
Yeah.
I think that's three because she just
That
had the
would be,
second one there not too long ago.
yes. Well, as far as we know, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell with how soap operas go, but
Hmm.
the time frame. But I just keep looking at her and thinking, and she's always got her
That's
stomach
interesting.
covered, and she's a gorgeous woman. It just seems like something just doesn't seem right about that.
Okay,
So
I got to
I have a
start paying
prediction.
attention. But go ahead.
Well, yeah. What are you doing? No, I'm teasing. So
I'm too
that's one of
fascinated
my
with Taylor
predictions.
lately. Sorry.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Jeez.
Yeah.
So Steffi, I believe Steffi's going to. announce a pregnancy,
Ooh, on the show.
and that's gonna yes, and that's gonna double down Sheila to get
Oh, yeah,
involved.
yeah, 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 yeah.
That's one prediction I have.
I like
I've
that.
got a couple more. So what do you have? I want to
Okay,
hear
I'll give
yours.
you one here, and then I'll bounce back to you.
Okay.
I'm going to say, getting back to this whole Liam, after Liam's discussion with Brooke, and she comes to her senses and goes over and talks to Ridge. Uh, he's going to take her back. Ridge is going to end up taking her back. Because I think coincidentally at the same time, it's tied to the same prediction, but could be considered a separate. But let's just say this, that I think the timing is going to be perfect because the whole Sheila, and that's another prediction I was going to hold for later, but I'll just, because they tie together. It's going to come out that Sheila spiked the booze or switched the labels, and that will just, because Ridge is on the fence anyway, so that'll be just enough to drive him over. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you in my next prediction how I think that Sheila gets discovered.
Okay.
Your turn.
All right. So along those same lines, Steffi overhears part of the conversation Thomas is having with Sheila, but she doesn't know who's on the other line. Mm-hmm. So she knows something's up. I think Thomas is going to tell Steffi because he needs to share it. He's really troubled. Mm-hmm. So I think he's going to tell Steffi. Steffi, I think, will hold back and say, don't say anything till they figure things out. At least that's what I just think because she's been such a snot about, mm-hmm. just a snarky, unlikable person that I think she'll hold off. Mm-hmm. I don't know. What do you think?
I agree with you, and I think she'll hold off long enough thinking that she's going to give Taylor enough time to solidify the relationship with Ridge. So I would just add that to your, and I think your prediction's solid. I can totally see that.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah. All right. So the other one I have is Thomas is being haunted. It goes back to what you just said. The whole thing that I just predicted earlier, that Ridge will go back to Brooke. Sheila, I think I'm going to predict it could happen two different ways. One way would be Thomas, as you've mentioned. I think you're right on there. I can totally see that. The other one is, I think we're going to be surprised because I haven't quite put it all together yet, but I think I see it kind of coming whirlwind around a totally different way. And I almost want to say maybe Deacon. That Deacon, because he's like Thomas. He's kind of gotten a moral conscience. Mm-hmm. And so I think she's going to end up spilling it to him, Sheila. And he's going to end up going, I think he'll go back to Brooke or go to Ridge, or somehow he'll spill it.
Wow. I like that.
Yeah.
Sexy.
Very sexy.
Okay.
All right. Anything else to close?
I guess the one thing that I think people keep forgetting, or the writers keep ignoring, is Zoe was really not a great match for Carter, mm-hmm. since she was trying to bed Zende.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe that will happen. Maybe Zoe comes back, and the two of them get together, and Carter can have Paris.
That gives Carter the free pass.
Yeah.
Wow. Ooh, that's really sudsy, Teri.
That was just pulled that one out.
All right. That's awesome. All right. To close, I'm just going to say to our listeners, again, just to repeat, we can be found on 3 different platforms: the audio, Spotify, iTunes, all the kind of iHeart, all the kind of common formats there, as well as our Soapdish Facebook page and Soapdish YouTube page. So look for us on all three formats.
Wow.
We're getting to be big time.
And it's all because of you, Mark Taylor.
It's a struggle, but it's fun. All right,
It is fun.
Terry, until we
Yes.
dish again.
Oh, keep it sudsy.
And we are out.